Alright guys, welcome. Another video here, really quick on NVDA and how to play these earnings coming up next week. So as you can see here, I have the right now the weekly chart up for you guys to see the overall picture. Something we talked about last week in the chat room was what's the best way to play it, especially going into earnings. Well, one of the things that I was talking about in the room was, hey, uh, let's make sure that we play it safe. I mean, don't get all crazy. We see the you know 10-week exponential moving average coming right around the 190. So I'm using that as my my floor. With the stock last week, we have a couple of very nice distributions. We just couldn't break above the 220 227s a couple of times, and then the market just, with the retracement that it gave us last week at the close on Friday, everybody's panicking now, planning for maybe test the 4,000 or test the 3,900 on the SPX. But if that were to be the case, then NVIDIA can actually pull back. Now remember, we do own NVIDIA. I mean, from the 130s and the 140s, we still own a couple of shares there, about 650 shares left. So we've been doing cover calls on those, and they've been working really nice. But now that we have at this point of earnings, we have to make a decision. So the decision that we're making is by playing it safe and go with a put credit spread, get some premium out of the way. We are playing it so far. I have, I believe, only 5. I sold them for about 91 cents. That's going to give you about 500 bucks coming up this week. 91 is up to you if you want to close them right before. You're already making 21%. If you took the trade Thursday morning, I believe it was when we put the trade on. But nonetheless, expect some volatility going into the stock. The stock, usually when coming into earnings, most of the time you're gonna see that they love pumping the stock, and they have done a pretty nice pump right from the January, right when we got them at 141. Now they are sitting here on the 213s. Expectations are for a move about, I believe the move on Nvidia is about what, 30, about $15. That's what the market makers are expecting it to be, about 20 bucks up or down on the stock. So if the stocks holds here, let's say the 215s or 220s going into earnings, then 20 bucks will put you right around on the 190s. And then with the volatility crush, you can either defend the put credit spread by converting it to a back ratio, or you can actually play it with directionals and go with the calls the next day going into Friday. Both ways will play nicely. Even though we have this pullback to the 200s, 208, I'm still on the boat that this eventually is going to break above the 240s and 250s. The 245 that we sold and the 247 for March, those calls, they might expire worthless at this point if the stock goes sideways. So if you sold the 247 and the 250, both of those calls probably are going to expire worthless. But going into the daily, if you look at the daily, pretty nice move that came around. Let me show you here on the daily. Last couple of days been ugly because of those yields just pumping and pumping. Now we are here at a point where the 200 mark is going to come and it's going to get tested. So it is up to you to start playing directionals going into earnings, probably Tuesday, late Tuesday, start to opening. Remember, this is a short week, so therefore that volatility will definitely crash once earning gets released. But if the stock is to hold the 210 going into earnings, I mean the 190 that we have sold the 190 put at the bottom. It can probably be defended with a 20 points drop the following day. Remember, Nvidia reports Wednesday after the close. All right. Now, from the perspective of trading it with directionals, those of you who are playing the directional game with calls, you can see clearly that this 208 has held really nice. So if you guys are playing it after earnings, if you don't have no lotto tickets, okay, once you start to get behind the 210s, wait for a retest of that 210 and take it to the 220s. If earnings are okay and the guidance comes pretty much in line with what we are estimating, you will get the bounce after earnings. So don't get surprised if you, during the earnings, right, if you see the stock dropping 10 or 15 bucks, You have seen it many times, like the way we played it with Meta before, and the way that we played it with Apple before, and the Amazons and the Googles. The day after, with the volatility crash, those stocks were actually moving higher. So I would expect NVIDIA, once you hit earnings and you don't hold or you break below those 210s, for the next day for that 210 to be reclaimed, watch out and wait for the test, and you can enter right there on the test and move away from it to the 220s. You can do that with a directional. You can just buy a straight up calls. Friday, I think they were about $3, 310. I actually did a couple of them from 310 to 350, and then 310 to I think 380s very late in the day on Friday. So you can play it that way. Just remember, this 210 has been bought pretty nicely, and they have taken you many times. I mean, back to the 227s, 228s. So if this is the case coming after earnings, we can play it really, really nicely. All right, so that's what I got on NVIDIA. I mean, good luck. I'll be seeing you guys in the trading room. Again, if you're not part of the room, please go check us out. Here at the end of this video in YouTube, you're going to find a link that you can go ahead and join us on Discord. All right, take care, guys. God bless. Have a fantastic trading week, and I'll be seeing you guys in the trading room.